John here again. Right, this video is going to be about this masterpiece. Yeah, Judas Priest, British Steel. I'm going to do a review of it in response to Metal Mickey. And yeah, this is my 2001 reissue, which comes, you can get all the albums. The first 3 that were released came out in this box back then, and had loads of bonus stuff on there and all sorts. It's a great box set, and I think it's really hard to find now. I think it's quite expensive. Right, yeah. So we're going to talk about British Steel. I love the artwork on the front. Unfortunately, when this was originally done, there was blood coming from just around by the fingers and stuff on the razor blade, and they weren't allowed to use that at all, so they had to stick with that picture. So yeah, this came out in 1980, and absolutely awesome album. And I've listened to this for the past 20 plus years, and it's an awesome album. We start off with the song Rapid Fire. Yeah, it's a nice, fast, cool intro. It's got a cool intro to it. Nice fast song. Speed sort of metal-ish. Not in the class of what speed metal is now, but it was quite fast then. And then Rapid Fire, yeah, I would give that, that is a great song. I would give that an 8.5 out of 10. And then we get on to Metal Gods, and this song is yeah. I know Metal Mickey, sorry, had said, I can't remember what he said now. Something about it just being, I think he meant by it's quite ploddy, but I think that's what they were trying to get, because they grew up in the Midlands, and lots of industrial foundries, steel foundries, and when they were in school, all they could hear was like the boof, 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 or the foundry hammers or whatever going down, banging out that steel. So yeah, they did have all that, and I suppose Metal Gods would be that was hammered into their brains, and it has got that ploddy. So I don't know what you exactly meant by that, but that's my take on it, and how I've watched lots of their interviews and stuff, and how they perceive that. So yeah, Metal Gods, awesome song, awesome guitar solo, and also there was quite a few words that Rob had actually just made up. Some of them don't even exist, don't mean anything, they're not even in the dictionary, and it's quite comical. One of them is Desolation, and I don't know if that's in the dictionary now, but back then didn't exist. So yeah, Rob did start making up some made up words, and it was just they must have been having so much fun making this, because they were recording it at making it at Tittenhurst Park, which was owned by Ringo Starr, and had previously been John Lennon's home, and they were they were saying that they were getting the drawers of cutlery out and bashing them around to do the noises in some of the metal guards, and they were using billiard cues, snooker cues, to do like whipping noises, and what was the other one? Bashing milk bottles against each other for stuff in, like, I think it was that was in Breaking the Law. I think it was. Don't hold me to that. But yeah, but it was quite comical to hear the stuff they got up to, and obviously they didn't have the technology back then to make these sounds, so they had to make their own, and good on them for doing that. So the next, Breaking the Law, I'm going to give a 10 out of 10 all day long. Oh sorry, Metal Guards, I'm going to give a 10 out of 10 all day long, and then we're going to go on to Breaking the Law, which is a song I love. I just love that guitar riff they do, and I'm going to give that 10 out of 10. And yeah, it's got a cheesy video, but what video of that time wasn't cheesy? Especially when you watch, who else can I say? I'm sure if you watch lots of metal bands back then, you know, rock, just normal rock bands, and you remember this band were, you know, in the 70s, they didn't even class themselves as heavy metal or anything like that, because that term just was not around until, I think, the new wave of British heavy metal. And yeah, these were, you know, pioneers of that. And also in one of their interviews in '77, they even just classed themselves as a hard rock band. There was and they were just trying to do as many different styles of rock music, and that would have been the Sin After Sin time, and going into so it was '77, and they were talking about doing their next albums, which they ended up doing Killer Machine, and which you guys in America got as Hellbent for Leather, and the other album Stained Class, which they did in '78. So yeah, their style, even in clothes, changed, especially when you think Rob started wearing all the studs and the leather and stuff. You think in '76, and I don't know what they wore in '77, but in '76 they were wearing scarves and flowery patterned shirts, and really it's quite funny, hilarious to watch the videos now, but that's what it was like back then. Yeah, let's go on to the next song, Grinder. Grinder is a great song. I've loved that song for a long time. I did slightly go off of it a bit until I just listened to it again just now, and I just thought, that is a great song, but it's not as good as Metal Guards, Rapid Fire, or Breaking the Law. So I'm going to give that a 7.5 out of 10. Right, this song a lot of people don't like, and it's the song United, but I actually do like it as an anthem, whereas like you got Queen with We're the Champions, and what's the other one, We Will Rock You, that sort of style. I think that's what they were going for with the song United. But they are bloody clever, because when you sing that song United, you can imagine yourself being at a football game singing it in the crowd. You could also imagine yourself being on a picket line At the time when they had loads of unemployment and riots and stuff, and you'd be on a picket line fighting with the police, singing United We Stand, United We Fall and stuff like that. Very clever of Judas Priest to bring that song out, and I don't find it boring. I can listen to that and okay, yeah, they say United quite a bit, but it's not just they're saying United, 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 United. They have got the other words that come out after. So I'm going to give United, because they were so clever in thinking of, probably thinking of the same thing I've just said about, that was a good marketing sort of thing. So, and I think it does belong on this album. It could have even been on one of the older ones, but I'd say I'd give that an 8 out of 10 for sure. And then you got the song You Don't Have to Be Old to Be Wise, which is a song that I do love, but I don't think it belongs on this CD. I think it belongs, it sounds like it should have been on the one of the last two, Killing Machine or Stained Class. So I'm going to give that a 7 out of 10, and then Living After Midnight is going to have a 9.5 out of 10 all day long. Obviously the story behind that is, I think Rob was having trouble sleeping because he had this song idea in his head. I think it was that, and he just couldn't sleep, and then it was getting so late into the morning that he wrote the song Living After Midnight. So yeah, that was, I think that's, I know 90% of that is correct. So if you want to check it out, check out the making of this album on DVD, which is called Classic Album Series or whatever. Then you got The Rage, which is one of my all-time favourite Judas Priest songs, and I'm going to give that a 10 out of 10 because I love that. Even though I don't like Reggie music, and I do call it Reggie, the start is a bit Reggie, and then it's got tones it down a bit through the song, but I love it. I absolutely love that, and yeah, amazing song. So I'm going to give that 10 out of 10. Then we go on to Stealer, which I didn't think I was going to like, and I can't remember if I really listened to it much back in like years ago, and then I listened to it again today and I was like, that's actually a really good rock song, sort of hard rock, and yeah, it's a good song to finish the album off. It's not monumental, it's not epic, it's going to be a 7.5 to 8 in my eyes. So yeah, that's Judas Priest, British Steel. So I'm going to give that album a definite 9.5 out of 10. So just because of that one song, no, the couple of songs, You Don't Have to Be Old to Be Wise, which is I feel should have been done earlier, should have been on the earlier albums, and Stealer for being just the slightly weaker, same with United being slightly weaker songs, but I wouldn't say they were crap. I would just say, you know, they were great songs. So, and yeah, good on Judas Priest for bringing out that United song. And I know they've done another song similar to that sort of thing. Right, so there we go. Cheers for watching, keep rocking, and hope you like the video, Metal Mickey, and all my other mates in the VC. Cheers.